shit tedious, that shit tiring. Drink it till you're tired, throw the towel in. Fuck you on the floor, break the tile in. Turn a quiet bitch into a siren. Tile in. Turn a quiet bitch into a siren. I'm applying to the pussy if you hiring.
Hello, welcome to my live. Hello, hello, welcome to my live. What's up, Cuzzo? Welcome to my live. Welcome to Risha the Writers live tonight with Evening Sips and Tales. Welcome to the live. Welcome to my live. Welcome everybody to my live. I will be starting soon. Just trying to get everything set up here. That's playing. Because that's not him. Right. Tracks.
Yeah.
Welcome to my live.
I'm hoping you excuse my behavior and maybe not get my niggas to the labels. I make still get their news from the papers. And they ain't had a kid in school, some kids in school was hanging from my news to the acres. And I've been Kobe lately, nigga. I for the lose to the Lakers. And we was Toby, nigga, the way a nigga different when the police chasing. I mean, he probably ain't doing nothing wrong.
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna get started. Welcome to my live. I'm Risha the Writer, as you know. What I do here, I go on here and read snippets of my stories that I am writing. I go live on Facebook and also TikTok to give you guys a taste of what I do. I'm actually going to talk about my this last snippet of the fourth story for now that I'm doing. This is actually the very first story that I wrote in a while, since because I've been writing since I was in middle school, but when I got older, married with kids, I started writing again, and I came up with this story. And this one actually I have completed, but I'm actually editing. So I'm going to actually play some of what I read today that I edit of this story. So if you guys can let me know what you think, that'd be awesome. And also, if you guys could send me some roses up here, I'll don't need a lot. If you can send the love to me today, that'd be super awesome. Do my live, that'd be sweet. And I'm gonna get started in just a moment. Let me get everything set up, and we'll start. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to my live. Welcome to Risha, the Writer's Evening Sips and Tales. I am going to be reading from my story that I have already written. I actually is editing it, so I'm going to actually read some of the edits that I've done. If you're interested, I have posted three of my other stories on my TikTok and also YouTube. You guys can go and take a listen to those and tell me what you think. Leave your comments. And also for this live, if you guys want to send me some roses at the top, if you could, that'd be super awesome doing this live. It'd be great. And yeah, I'm going to get started. Let's see. Let me pause this music here. Okay. So what I did earlier today, I went in. And recorded the story today. So I'm gonna play the first half of it. Just let me know if you guys can hear it. If I get a thumbs up, if you can hear it or not, and if not, I also have it up too, just in case I need to read it live. Okay, awesome. And this is the first part of the story. And also I want to tell you, I do want to give a disclaimer. This is adult content, adult situations. So please be aware then when you're listening. If you by yourself, which is good, I've said it all the time. But just be aware, this is adult content throughout, okay? Let's see. And this story is actually taken, like I said, I wrote it years ago when my kids was little and I was married, and it was during the I want to say late 90s, early 2000s. So you're going to hear some of the language that we used to say, like I said, back in the day. So it's some, so don't laugh. And there's going to be something you're going to hear like, what? It's just older material, okay? So I didn't want to change it when I'm editing it, so I'm keeping it in that era. Just let you know, you might hear some words that we don't even use anymore, well, slang. So just let you know. All right. Hold on just a second. I don't think you guys can hear it. Mia was exhausted. It was 5 p.m. and Mia was headed out the door. She couldn't wait to get home and just relax. Oh, I'm going to start it over. To shower, give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. It was a usual busy day at the doctor's office, working as a medical coder biller. Mia was exhausted. It was 5 p.m. and Mia was headed out the door. She couldn't wait to get home and just relax. Her plan was to shower, drink a glass of wine, and a good book. She could just imagine tasting that chill red wine on the tip of her tongue. She hopped in her black and gold two-door sedan and headed home. She lived in a condo in a gated, predominantly black and Latino neighborhood. She loved that about this location. It's very hard to find, and it's rare. It's something that she was always looking for. She went inside and dropped her purse on the side of the table by the door, then headed straight for her chaise lounge. Her head was pounding, looking at a computer all day. She closed her eyes and just relaxed. It felt good. The peace and quiet, she thought to herself. Her mother would usually be at her place trying to set her up on dates or just her usual meddling. Mia felt herself getting deeper and deeper into sleep. She knew she had to get up from there, or she would experience the soreness and stiffness in her neck and arm if she didn't. Mia went into the kitchen to pour that much needed glass of wine she was craving. She had a little bar cart set off the side between the end of the kitchen counter and the dining area. A red blend this time, she thought to herself. She took the corkscrew and popped open the bottle and took one of her standard red wine glasses and poured. She then grabbed the glass and headed toward her bedroom, placing the glass on the dresser. She got undressed and headed to the bathroom to run the shower. She stepped back in the bedroom to grab her robe and the wine and headed back into the bathroom. She looked at her body in the mirror. She was happy about what she saw. She was doing well with keeping the weight off. The way her weight has been fluctuating, she made a promise to herself to maintain the size and try to stay away from too much temptation. She pushed back the curtains to step in and pushed them back to close. The warm water streamed down her breasts, down to her waist, and then last to her feet. It had felt amazing as she smiled at the feeling. After a while, she washed and rinsed off, cut the water off, and grabbed her terry cloth robe and wine and headed back in the bedroom. She felt like pampering herself and decided to put on a sexy nightgown and spray on one of her many favorites. She slid in bed under the warmth of her cotton sheets, grabbed an erotica book on her nightstand, and began to relax. As soon as she exhaled, her phone rang. She didn't even say hello. She replied to the call on the other line. "Hi, Mom." "Mia, how did you know it was me?" "Lucky guess," she said with a little bit of sarcasm. Her mother giggled and said, "Well, sweetheart, I'm coming over." "Actually, Ma, I really just wanted some me time today. You know what I mean?" "You know how I am, dear, and besides, you are my best daughter." Mia let out an annoyed sigh. "All right, Miss Lady, I heard that. Sorry, Mom," she said. "There's a knock at the door." "Hold on a moment. There's someone at the door." "Sure, sweetie," she laughed. Mia got up from her bed, headed to the front door while she was wondering who could be at her door. "Who is it?" "It's me, honey. Open up," her mom giggled. "Really, Mom?" Mia said as she opened the door. "You know you love it when I do that. It usually makes your day." "Not today. I'm just not feeling it today." Her mother made her way into her apartment. She was a fair-skinned black woman in her mid to late 40s. She looked good for her age, and she would often get mistaken as Mia's sister. Mia was proud of how her mom takes care of herself, hoping that she herself will look good as her when she gets her age. "What's going on with you? You need to loosen up." "I'm fine, Mama. I'm loose." "You don't seem like it. I think that I may have sheltered you too much as a child." "I don't think so. I'm not sheltered. I just like to be home most of the time." "You're a homebody, Mia." "No, I'm not. I do go out." "Yeah, to work," her mom said. "Really? When's the last time you went on a date? Or even to the club for that matter?" "It's been a while, but I am perfectly fine being an independent single woman," said Mia. "Yeah, well, frankly, that independent shit gets lonely." "Well, you're independent," she said to her mom, trying to redirect the focus from her. "Well, I'm grown," said her mom. "I'm grown too." "Yeah, but I have lived my life. You're just 24. Yours is just beginning." "Mom, you know I've tried dating and being in a bad relationships, but..." Before Mia could finish her sentence, her mom interrupted her. "Honey, don't bring that Davy Story shit up again. I am not in the mood. I have heard that song and dance for the last time." Wow. "All I'm saying is that I don't plan on going down the road no time soon." "Daughter, there are so many men out there just for you to get a little taste. You don't have to be in a committed relationship to have a good time with a man. I'm not going to play games with men like you do." "I don't play games with them. I'm just not trying to be involved in anything serious. The way your dad left me for that bitch Sharon, I just don't want to take the time." "Anyways, so what's for dinner tonight?" she asked, smacking her lips. Mia smiled at mom's reaction and enthusiasm. She knew her mom loved home-cooked meals. She said, "Takeout." Her mom gave her a look of, "You gotta be kidding me" expression. Mia laughed at her mother. "Now, you know I hate to eat takeout." "Well," said Mia with sarcastic tone. Her mother put her hands on her hips and said with an attitude, And you ain't even trying to cook tonight. You just trying to get rid of me. No, Mom, I wouldn't dare, she snickered. Sweetie, I just need to put something on my stomach before 10 tonight. What do you have planned tonight? One of your many suitors? If you must know, I have a friendly date with a 29-year-old. She smiled devilishly. Mia shook her head. Wow, he's young. It's just a friendly dinner, that's all. Right. You're going to get him drunk and then get in his pants 7 drinks later. I don't have to get him drunk. He's already ready and willing, please. Ready and willing to please me, drunk or sober. She said confidently. You know, Mom, I don't mean any disrespect when I say this, but you have been satisfying your sexual appetite for quite a lot lately. None taken. I just love their company, sweetie. She gave a coy smile. Anyway, you need to go out too. Oh, maybe you can go with me and my date. That would be fun. And be a third wheel? No thanks. I will pass. Well, if not with me, go somewhere. Please, Mia. What about that club on Drain Drive? I heard it's hot. Hold up, hot? What do you know about hot? Mia giggled. Well, hell, I'm dating these young men. I pick up on a few things. I really wasn't planning on leaving the house tonight. I mean, look at me. I'm in my pajamas. You need to go. I will think about it. Could we change the subject, please, ma'am? She stated. Her mother agreed, but got back on the subject of how Mia needed to get over her past relationships and expressing how it's going to hurt the rest of her relationships later on down the road. She told her that holding on to somewhat bitterness because of one man and his poor decision is hindering a new one from blossoming. Japanese takeout and several glasses later, Mia's mother stated, well, sweetheart, I'm on the way to finish up the touches for my date. Did you decide on what you're going to do tonight? She asked Mia. Mia didn't respond. Pookie, she said. This is her nickname. Her mother would call her when she needed or wanted something from her. Just go out. You don't have to find anyone. Just go and have a good time. Can you do that for me? She gave Mia those puppy eyes. Mia couldn't say no to her mom with her hazel eyes. Okay, Mom, I will go. But promise me this is the last and only time you harass me about going out. I promise, she said as she was holding her hand up to make a pledge. Mia laughed at the sight of her. I got to go now, honey. Kisses. She blew her kisses at her daughter, then left. Mia was cleaning up her kitchen while thinking that she really didn't want to go out, but she knew her mother would be texting and calling to see how everything went. She knew she couldn't fake it with her mother. After the kitchen was cleaned, she headed to the closet in her bedroom. She found herself buying so many clothes for going out, but she rarely gets out. It's fall and the weather is very crisp. She decided to wear her leather pants and a soft pink lace waist-length top with sleeveless split slightly down the middle to show off a little bit of her arms. She wore a black leather waist jacket to match. It was cute, she thought, and it was all that she needed to be. She left around 11:30 and decided to go to this club she would usually pass by coming home late from work. They would always be jumping for an older crowd, she thought. She arrived at the club, it was packed, and at a glance the dance floor was too. She moved through the packed crowd as she heard one of her jams was playing. Hoping she would be able to get a drink from the bar, she found that she was enjoying herself. Finally, being able to move closer to the bar to order her drink, the bartender yelled from behind the counter. What you have? Margarita, Mia yelled back. We ain't got no more. What else? What about wine? She sighed. Nope. Mia looked at her body language. Clearly, she was getting impatient with her. What about a Blue Marley? She nodded her head and started to mix the drink. That'll be $5.50. She paid for her drink and started to head out a little more to the middle of the club to see if there are any seats she could sit at. She knew she wouldn't be able to stand in her heels she had on all night. Amazingly enough, she found one. Majority of the crowd was standing around along the walls, trying to holler or even on the dance floor. So seats were available. Mia was casing the joint to see what the crowd was really about. A lot of overdressed dudes and underdressed females. but she thought to each his own. The music stopped and everybody turned their attention to the stage. A man stepped to the mic. Damn, he fine, Mia said to herself. What's up, my brothers and sisters? It's now time for the showcase for tonight. She's new to the stage here, but she's no stranger to me because she's my sister. Y'all give it up for and show some love to Shara. Everyone applauded. She walked on the stage, but first giving her brother a kiss on the cheek. She had a long red satin dress cut low in the front and the splits tastefully done on the side. She was a beautiful young lady, and her voice was amazing with a mixture of smooth yet raspy vocals. Mia was starting to feel the show, but she was approached by a woman who was blocking her view. The lady smiled and sat at the table with Mia. Mia gave the lady a look of like, why are you sitting here, look? The lady tapped Mia on her hand to get her attention and said, excuse me. Yes, Mia said. I don't mean to bother you, but didn't you attend BCF High? She asked. Yes. You probably don't remember me, but I was a cheerleader in the senior squad with you. Mia carefully looked at the woman. She didn't seem familiar to her. There were things that Mia had done in her high school days. Some were things that she regretted, and cheerleading was one of them. Mia replied, I'm sorry, I don't remember. She frowned a little. Do you remember during one of our practices, you had ordered me to be on top of the pyramid, and I had fallen and landed on your back, and you twisted your ankle? She said with a slight smirk on her face. Wait a minute, Caprice? Yeah, it's me. Mia gave her a hug. Mia thought to herself, this girl fell off that pyramid on purpose. She always thought she had it out for her. A tall guy with long locks interrupted them and said, hey, little mama, you want to dance? His focus was directly on Mia. She politely turned him down. He persisted and she kept turning him down. The banter kept on for like a couple seconds. Then Caprice interrupted and turned to the guy and said, excuse us for a minute.
Thank you.
She took the man aside, and as far as anyone can see, their discussion seemed heated. Clearly, she was upset with the way he was acting. They both came back to where Mia was sitting. As earlier, he asked Mia to dance again, and once again, she declined. He finally got the hint and said, don't worry, I'll come back to you. I got to check out the honey over there. Mia gave a look as if to say, do I really give a damn? Girl, I want to apologize for my boyfriend's actions, said Caprice, sounding a little embarrassed. Mia looked surprised and said, that's your boyfriend? Yeah, he can be a flirt sometimes. You think? You don't be mad at his actions? No, it's okay. I know he loves me. Mia thought to herself. Some kind of strange love they have. Anyway, how have you been? She asked, trying to change the subject. I've been great, and you? Things could be better, but I'm still living and healthy. I guess that's really what really matters, huh? Yes, ma'am, Mia said, shaking her head.
Okay, and that's the first half of the story. Like I said, it was written way back in the day when they was using, that kind of slang, whatever. But I was gonna go ahead on and play the other half. If you guys can send me some roses, that'd be awesome. Thank you for the rose, Truett. I appreciate it, Cuzzo. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody joining. And if you did join for a few minutes or whatever, thank you for the love. Thank you so much. I am going to play the other half of the story tonight. And then once I play the other half of the snippet, I'm going to come back to you guys and we can talk about what we listen to. You know what I'm saying? And you can also check out my other 3 posts that I have up there from my other 3 stories that I am writing. So if you want to, if you like what you hear tonight, go to the other 3 posts and like and listen to those. Every story has different subjects, well, mostly the same subjects, but different vibes about them. So, I hope you like at least one of them. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead on and play the other part that I recorded earlier today. And I do want to apologize for it. Sometimes I do get a little tongue-tied, or I might read a little fast. I do apologize. But I'm going to go ahead on and play the second part. And like I said, this is one of the first stories that I did write when I got married. Because, of course, I was writing in middle school. But the big story is when I started writing in my adult age. When I had my kids, they was younger. And and I completed it. I'm just in the editing phase. And right now, you guys are listening to the editing phase. And I'm going to read the second part of it. Okay, so here we go. Let me find it. And we just left off where, of course, Mia was talking with Caprice. She just found a classmate she had, remember from school. Okay? And they're at the club, of course. All right. On the stage, Shar starts singing an old school song, and it was a favorite of Mia's. "Oh, that's my song," said Mia. Caprice smiled and said, "Yeah, that's the jam." They both started rocking to the slow grooves in their rocking chairs. Caprice man saw his girl and Mia rocking in their chairs to the song. He thought that maybe Mia was ready to dance with him now. "Hey, Miss Lady, I see you're swaying to the music. I guess you're ready for that dance now." Mia looked at him with a look of, "You got some nerve." "No, I don't want to dance for the last damn time." "You just don't want to dance with me, is that it?" he asked. "Yes, that's it," Mia said sarcastically. He had a puzzling expression on his face, as if he was a bit confused. Mia just blurted out and said, "You're just going to disrespect your woman like that to her face? That's fucked up." "Fuck you, bitch. My woman don't care. She knows that I love her," he stated matter-of-factly. "Who are you calling a bitch?" "You, bitch," he repeated. Caprice stood up and said, "That's enough, Gary. Let's just go over there to the bar." She grabbed him by his arm and he walked toward the way she was going, but snatched his arm away from her. Once again, they started arguing. Mia sat there with a look of disbelief. She couldn't believe that man called her a bitch. "Hell, he don't know me," she said to herself. Turning her focus back to the show, the singer Shara took to the mic and said, "Hi, everyone. I'm going to sing one of my very own songs called Follow My Rules." The groove was smooth, Mia thought. She was running low on her drink. She turned her attention to the bar, but Caprice and her man was still there, and she was not going to go through that again. So she stayed in her seat and suffered without her fresher. Mia changed her focus and just started casing the place to see what kind of men were here. Hopefully they would be friendly and single and more attractive than what she had already came across, she thought. She came across the same guy she saw earlier. "Damn, he's fine," she said to herself again. The way he dressed turned her on immensely. Darian always thought of himself as a well-dressed man. This night he had on his signature style. Everything he had on is name brand only. He wore his crisp black jeans with a brown turtleneck shirt and a belt with his initials on it. He topped it off with his creamy brown fedora, platinum chain, and his long black leather flowing coat. It was styling at its finest. Having the girl's attention tonight made him feel the most wanted brother in the club. Mia thought he had to be hot in that fit. It may have been cold outside, but not in the club. I'm sure he was trying to be cute. Trust, it was working. He had a group of ladies all over him. They act like he was famous or something, she completed her thought. She could barely get a good look at his face at times. She thought she would be over there fawning over him if she was that type of girl. Darian caught Mia stealing glances at him. He loved it. She was attracted to him. He thought she had the most beautiful face he have seen in a while. He got the waitress' attention and asked her, Do you know what that young lady is drinking?" The waitress stated, "I think it's a margarita. Excuse me, I think it's a Blue Marley." "Okay, cool. Send her another one and let her know it's from me." The waitress nodded as she understood and walked off to get Mia that drink. I hope you guys are liking it so far. I am going to read the rest of it live without the recording. And yeah, I'm going to continue where we left off. "Oh shit," he caught me looking at him. She turned away shyly. She was surprised at her response. She had never felt shy in front of any man, but this man got her shook. The singer Shara had just finished her song, and everyone was applauding and whistling at her performance. She stated that she will be right back. They will take a break. Mia thought this would be a good time to get that much-needed drink from the bar, but she wanted to make sure the coast was clear of Caprice and her man. As she was getting up to walk to the bar, a waitress came to her and said, "This is from the young man in the corner." She placed the drink on the table. Mia sat down and turned her attention to the host and smiled and raised her glass as to say thanks. He smiled back with a head nod as to say, "Welcome." Darian headed to the stage and took to the mic and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up again for Shara. One more time." The crowd responded. "We are going to keep the party going. DJ EC, let's get it crunk." The DJ spun a bumping jam. People started to head to the dance floor. Mia too was feeling the jam. She finished her drink and headed to the dance floor as well. She was moving, getting into the groove when she was suddenly faced with Gary. He jumped right in front of her and started dancing with her. Mia was about to walk off, but Gary pulled her to him. "Do you have to dance so close to me?" asked Mia, sounding annoyed. "Yeah, I gotta feel that booty." The alcohol on his breath was so strong it irritated her stomach as she inhaled. "Hey, it was fun, but I'm gonna go sit down right now," she told him. She tried to move away from his hold, but he grabbed her arm as she was apart from him, stopping from her leaving. "You need to let me go." "No, baby, we ain't finished our dance yet," he said, slurring. "Yes, we are," she said, still trying to pull away. "No, we're not." His grip was becoming more intense. Mia felt herself starting to get a little scared, but she dared not to show it to Gary. "Gary, let me go. Quit playing," she said, trying to play it off. He ignored her request and pulled her close to him and again continued dancing. Mia, now really scared because of this man not wanting to let her go. He had the scariest look in his eyes, she thought to herself, not to mention he was tall and with a big build. She looked around near the bar where Caprice may have still been occupied. Sorry, you guys. She got her attention and made a motion for her to come and get her man. Caprice saw Mia and just turned away as if she didn't see her at all. "What in the hell? She ignored me, that bitch," Mia said. She searched desperately through the crowd to find Shower's brother to come and save her from this drunk-ass man. She was fortunately successful. He looked her way and smiled. She returned the gesture and smiled back, but also fixed her mouth to motion help. It didn't work to her advantage, as Darian only smiled again. Mia sighed and rolled her eyes as he didn't get the message. Her expression was now angry, and as she couldn't get any assistance from anyone to get help from this man. Mia was squirming to get free from Gary's grip. Darian looked her way again and saw the young lady look as if she wanted to get away from him. He left where he was and went to get security to back him up because he know how Gary gets with ladies every now and then in the club. Thank you for the roses, you guys. He walked up to them and said, "Hey, bruh, looks like the lady wants to sit down." "What? Man, you better step," said Gary. "Look, I found her first, so why don't you just go back over there to the corner with those hoes?" Gary stopped dancing with Mia, but kept his grip on her arm while standing face to face with Darian. They were both the same height. While Gary had a bigger build, Darian stood his ground. "No, God, not until you let the young lady go." Then appeared two bodyguards standing directly behind Darian. Some of the people was dancing, stopped to see what was going on, and now Mia was in the middle of everyone's attention. Gary looked at the bodyguards that were standing there, how he is getting attention he was not really wanting. He had let go of Mia, but reluctantly. He realized if he continued with this standoff, it would mean him getting in a brawl and being kicked out. That would be embarrassing, and he knew he could get anyone else in the club. Mia wasn't the only bitch in the place, he thought to himself. Mia was rubbing her wrists from the hold Gary had on her. "Are you all right?" said Darren, with a look of concern on his face. She looked directly up into his eyes, which were a grayish blue, and she noticed his lips and how sexy they were. She smiled at the thought. Mia still not yet answered him, as she still stared at him, and the licking of his lips as if he was talking, it was turning her on, and she couldn't get over how she was seeing this in slow motion. Are you okay? He asked again. Oh, yes. Sorry, I'm fine. He smiled at her delayed reaction. Gary didn't hurt you, did he? My wrist is a little sore. He scared me for a minute, but I'll survive, she giggled. He is a regular here, and he always does that when he's into a woman that he really is into. Wow. Yeah, he always drinks too much and gets a little wild, but he calms down eventually. What about his girlfriend Caprice? What does she do when she sees him being belligerent? Do you know her? Yeah, from the back in the day I tried to get her attention and she totally ignored me. That's what she does. She never interferes. I heard that they have an open relationship. Do you want to sit down at your table? Yeah, that's cool. He moved to the side to let her lead the way and follow suit. He pulled the chair out for her and she sat, and he pulled the chair from another table and turned it around and sat in it with his arms at the top of it. She continued the conversation and said, Thank you again for buying me a drink earlier. I really needed another, she smiled. Oh, no problem. What is your name, if you don't mind me asking? It's Mia. That's a beautiful name. Thank you. My name is Darian, just in case you didn't catch it earlier. He reached for her hand, and Mia obliged, and they shook hands. Darian smiled and gave her a sly smile. Mia lost her breath for a minute and found it by deeply exhaling exotically, and smiled as well. She couldn't believe her behavior. She was showing tonight. He couldn't get over how beautiful she was and why she was here in the club all alone. He thought to himself. The DJ put on one of Mia's slow jams. She closed her eyes for a minute to feel the beat as she swayed side to side, then slowly opened them. Darian saw how the song was making her feel and asked, Would you like to dance? Without any hesitation, she replied, I have to ask, though, you are on the side of the club with a few ladies. Does one of them happen to be your date tonight? He replied, Nah, they just admirers. I came alone. Then yes, that would be nice. They made it to the dance floor, which was a little crowded with couples grinding and feeling the groove in their own way. They started their own groove as well at first, being at least 6 inches apart, with Mia's arms on his shoulder and his on her waist. As the song progresses, they moved in closer, keeping their gaze intact. She felt such positive electricity between them. She felt he could be the one, she thought to herself. The thought of her past love never crossed her mind this time in a long time. Mia felt something she never thought she could feel. Darian held her with his arm, firm yet soft embrace, moving his fingers gently up and down her spine. He saw her shiver, and he hadn't had a woman react to him like this in a while as well. He smiled at her. Her expression was very sexy to him. With that, Mia moved her hands to drape the back of his neck, which caused them to move in closer to one another, and now no space between them. The gaze they continued to keep ignited a spark, which they both gave a look as to say, I got you, to each other. Mia's favorite song was since gone off, but the slow jams continued, and they continued their groove. Mia slightly felt his manhood bulge out a little. He quickly stepped back a little. She smiled and pulled him back to her. She was getting turned on, as he was clearly showing as well. He started to lean in for her lips, and was she. He hesitated, and again, she the same. Should I be doing this? Am I ready? There were so many questions running through her mind. He was causing so much excitement in her. He, on the other hand, had things on his mind as well. I wonder if I kissed her. Will she slap me? I don't want to ruin my chance with her, but I know she feels what I do, he thought. She started toward him with her lips parting, and he followed suit. They finally kissed, and their lips fell perfectly into place. They were in their own world. Nothing mattered but them. It seemed that we have 2 lovebirds on the dance floor, stated Shara. She gave a smile as she was surprised to see her brother cuddled up with a woman like he was. She was getting ready to start her second half of the show. Mia pulled away from the kiss and noticed no one was on the dance floor but them. Everyone was staring at them, she thought to herself.
They both didn't realize they were alone, yet even realized the music was no longer playing. Darian just smiled as if, and he was glad she didn't get mad or slap him when they kissed. Mia was so embarrassed and she gently pushed him away and walked to her table and started to head out the exit. Darian followed behind her as she exited the club. Mia, he called to her. She continued to walk to her car. He followed. Mia, wait, he called again, this time with worry in his voice. She stopped and she made it to her car and blew out a sigh and turned around as he was directly behind her now. What's wrong, Mia? He softly grabbed her chin and looked into her eyes, searching for an answer. He saw her expression, then looked at the look of confusion on her face. Mia didn't answer right away. All of a sudden, she felt was indeed of confusion and her feelings. The thoughts of she only knowing this man for 10 minutes, and here she was kissing him. Was she desperate, or was she kissing him was a reaction of not having a man in a while? He was definitely attractive, but she thought she can't let this moment cloud her judgment. This time she thought, if I want to make this something of this, I got to have a clear head. Darian waited patiently for her response. Look, I just have to go. No, don't leave. What's the matter? It's the kiss, isn't it? He stated matter-of-factly. Yes, I think it is. I don't really know, she said, sounding confused. I just think it's just best that I leave. Look, I apologize for the kiss, but I thought the decision was mutual on both sides. It was. I did. I did want to kiss you, but now I don't know if I really should have. Mia, if we both felt the same way, then it was right. Darian, she said. She placed her hand on his face. I just got to go. She gently pushed him back. He stepped back from her door, and she unlocked it and got in. He, now confused, and said, No, wait. Mia pulled off. Okay. And that's it for today, you guys. Like I said, this is my very first story that I wrote. Later down the years when I got married and had my kids. This is the one I actually completed, and this is now in the editing phase. So you guys have heard some of the edits that I wrote for that. If you guys can let me know how you feel about it. I appreciate everyone that sent me roses. If you can continue to send me more, it's great. I need only 2 more if you can. And like I said, I am going to have this live replay like I always do. And if you guys missed any other stories, just go back and thank you, Lee, for the roses. Thank y'all so much. So if you want to go back into my profile and check it out. And thank y'all. I keep my go. Whoop, whoop. Thank y'all so much. So if you want to go back into my other to see my other lives that I had on other stories, please feel free, like and save them if you want. I have a lot of people. I'm so excited. I have a lot of people saving my stories. They are saving them, and I think that's so cool. And if you want to save this one, it's fine. Like I said, this is one of the 4th installments of one of the 4 stories that I am writing. I will be reading them in its entirety on YouTube once I finish the editing for those. And then later on, you'll be able to purchase them if you like. So like I said, I really appreciate everybody coming on. I read everything that I was supposed to read tonight. I really appreciated everybody that came through, sent me the roses. I met my goal. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And like I said, I'm so grateful, so thankful you guys for liking my posts, sharing them, saving it. Thank you so much. And you guys, I hope y'all have a good night. And I will see y'all on Thursday for another installment. Thank y'all so much. Good night.